Happy Gemini season. Really quick before I get into everything, I'm trying something different with my lighting, so hopefully I don't look quite as washed out as I have in my last videos. I mean, I'm really pasty. My hair and my skin are the same color. Also the same color as my walls, so hopefully I look like more than just eyeballs in this video. Here we are for Gemini season. I love Geminis personally. I feel like that's probably one of the most hated signs. Hate's a strong word. One of the most disliked signs. One of the most misunderstood signs, let's say. So in honor of Gemini season, I decided to do an Emily Ratajkowski book. I'm sure my Polish ancestors are shaking their heads at my pronunciation of her last name, but it's fine. All right, so for starters, I have a little bit of a tan. I put a little bit of self tanner on. I never put it on my face. I think it's just kind of pointless in my opinion because I wash my face twice a day and I also use a bunch of exfoliating products. So for me, it makes zero sense to add some chemicals that aren't benefiting my skin just to make it look a little bit darker when I could just go ahead and use a BB cream or a bronzer. So anyway, I'm gonna go with a little bit of a darker BB cream to start off with. St. Minerals, are you surprised? So for my skin prep, I use this. It's from Farmhouse Fresh. It is Ageless Illuminating Facial Mousse. It also looks really pretty on your arms and on your chest, FYI. So I use a little bit of that to give myself a nice little glow. All right, so Geminis. Oh, my longest relationships have all been with Geminis, so I know them pretty well. I'm gonna use my hands for this. I usually don't like to use my hands because it just feels gross to me. I don't know why. I'm just gonna do a light layer. So for me, this is just a better way to fake a tan on my face. I feel like if you were to use like a full coverage foundation, which obviously you can do, it can be a little bit more obvious in my opinion that you're just wearing it as like a foundation color that's like a little too dark. So I think this just looks a little bit more natural. So Geminis are ruled by the sign of Mercury, which is all about communication. So whenever I see someone that is really witty, really good at bantering, just super quick on their feet, I always assume they're a Gemini. Like, I know I mentioned in one of my last videos that I really love stand-up comedy. I don't know if anyone else does this, but if I like a celebrity, I'll Google their birthday. And so many of my favorite comedians that are really, really good at improv, I'm like, Gemini, that checks out. So I think that here I am, already adding more coverage. So I think a lot of people have a hard time with Gemini because of the duality, the twins. So they have a split personality. I think in some people it's not quite as obvious. Everyone that I've dated, I'm like, ooh, I really gotta like sense out what kind of mood they're in first before I bring anything up to them. It's kind of like you never know what you're going to get. Maybe that's just my trauma speaking. It keeps it interesting. Also, this might be a little bit obvious, but if you are rocking a self tan and you're trying to do your face a little bit darker, definitely make sure your neck matches as well. All right, she's not giving pasty princess anymore. She's giving, I'm trying to think of all the cheesy names that like cosmetic companies give there. I'm giving like amazing almond right now. All right, we're gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna go with some concealer. I usually like to do my contour first, but she likes to do a little bit of bronzer over the nose, and I think it'll just be easier for me to do concealer first. So this is a concealer from Jouer. Hey, baby? I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it, but we're gonna use some of this. This is actually from my makeup kit. I love it, but I'm gonna use it on a little spatula and then go in from there because I wanna keep this sanitary. I don't know, Geminis are just really good at bantering. If you are like up to date with like gossip or news or anything like that, like you're gonna get along with Gemini really, really well because they like to be in the know. They process things really, really quickly. They're always reading and they're always taking in information. So I think a lot of people think that they can be really superficial, but I think they're just really fast. I know they're really fast. Like honestly, I get so excited when I meet a Gemini because it's just like a very exciting conversation. Can you tell that I love them? Ooh. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. I feel like this is already a lot for the type of look that she likes to do, but you know what? I am not a supermodel, so we can cheat a little bit. Also, another thing I wanted to address really quickly, I don't know what I said in my last tutorial, but I had some people comment. I think it might have come across as like kind of insecure. I just wanted to say that making videos like this and like talking to a camera is like very awkward, and putting yourself out there in that way is just like a different level of vulnerability. I know it sounds maybe kind of stupid because people are like, okay, you're making a video and no one's forcing me to do this. I understand. But like, it's something about it just feels like very self-centered and like narcissistic. And I'm going back and I'm editing videos and I'm kind of like trying to look from an outsider's perspective and be like, okay, is this douchey? Is this funny? Like, it's just a little weird. So I never meant to sound like a victim or like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, this is a learning process, so you're gonna come on the journey with me. But I've been doing this for 20 years, so I know what I'm talking about. However, it is a little bit intimidating because a lot of people on YouTube, they're just legitimately influencers. Like, I don't even think most of these people have done makeup on anyone else but themselves, which is fine. My overthinking brain leads me to believe that perhaps I might be put under a microscope, you know, more than other people, but I gotta get over it. Anyway, thanks for being on this journey with me. Appreciate you. Blending out this concealer. Oh, so pretty. I love the finish on this. This amount of makeup is like killing me. I really wish I was like a natural girl, but I'm just not. But we're still gonna roll with it. So for the bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the Curve Case. Surprise, surprise. But these colors right here are just like really beautiful and bronzy, and it's just gonna be perfect. So, and I'm gonna go with the Made by Mitchell brush to go with it. So I'm literally just stamping. And because she is a natural diva, I'm gonna take some of it off like on my wrist, just so it's not so intense. Still working off my wrist. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the YouTube short that I did about the Aquaphor hack, but it's a staple now. I didn't think it was appropriate for this look, but I'm definitely gonna do a tutorial with the Aquaphor lip balm in the future. So check that out if you haven't already. Is she looking like a supermodel yet? Like, what is it like to be God's favorite? Like, what is it like to win the genetic jackpot like that? Okay, so her look for the Met Gala, I feel like she wasn't wearing a lot of blush, so I'm not gonna go super heavy-handed. And I'm going to add a little bit of an illuminator. This is Tanessa Myricks Illuminating Veil. Makes sense to me. All right, again, I'm just gonna use my wrist. I'm kind of digging it right now. Just gonna apply it to the high points. If you have a hard time finding the high points of your cheekbones, you can literally just go and look into a light source and you can see where the light hits. Like, the light's hitting right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. One thing that I definitely noticed that her makeup artist, or maybe I'm assuming she likes it, she definitely goes down the bridge of her nose a lot with highlighter. And I don't know if it's just how her facial structure is, but she seems to be like kind of flat right by the bridge of her nose. So I'm assuming she highlights it to try to like pronounce it out a little bit more, but it's definitely something that I notice in all of her looks. Like, that looks kind of crazy on me. Also going to apply a little bit of the illuminator in the inner corners because the Met Gala look was pretty shimmery. For blush, her makeup artist went for a little bit of like a warmer tone. So I'm gonna use a mixture of these two colors. And he went pretty high with it. I've been really enjoying applying my cream blush with the Beauty Blender. It just looks seamless and perfect. I'm gonna apply a little bit to my nose, which I usually don't do this, but she definitely likes it. Is this a vibe? I don't know if it is. It's okay. It's just makeup, it washes off, you know? But I kind of feel like that's one of, like, the blush on the nose is kind of like one of those things for like only hot girls. Like, maybe it's just because she's a supermodel that like it looks good on her. So I'm gonna do my brows. I'm gonna fill them in with the St. Minerals Brow Butter in dark brown. And this is a brush that I've had for years. It's from Michaels. It's just an angled brush for painting. She brings her brows down like pretty far. Or I should say her brows grow down really far, but I feel like all the makeup artists that I've seen work on her, they kind of still try to extend it a little bit more. I like to keep mine a little bit shorter because I think it just adds a little bit of lift to my face. Oh my God, so my building was doing inspections today and I knew that they were coming at some point either today or tomorrow, and today is my day off of work and I had just gotten an ASOS order and I was trying on all my clothes and then I heard a knock on the door. Very embarrassing because I was wearing like a little mini dress And just like my bra. I'm like, hi, and I just have like the plastic bags everywhere. I'm like this dumbass. But one of the people that came in was a girl. I was like, sorry, I just got an order. She's like, it's fine. I was like, okay, but are you gonna tell me if this looks cute or not? Should I return it? Yes or no? But I think one thing that's important, especially if you do makeup on other people, is to just bounce around the face and just keep moving, because a lot of times everything just comes together in the end. So if you sit and obsess for like 45 minutes over one eyebrow hair, like you're gonna be there for 3 hours and your client's gonna be annoyed. So do I love the eyebrows right now? No, but we're gonna keep moving. I think the base looks pretty good. I'm gonna blend it out again with the Booty blender. And then I'm gonna set with some powder before I do the eyes. Also, I've legit really been into the mineral veil from St. Minerals. I know that I work for them, but I cannot tell a lie, okay? So if I didn't like something, I would not be able to lie about it. But this actually looks really pretty on the skin. My skin looks really airbrushed. And for baking, it's been like the best thing I've ever used for baking. It literally makes my under eyes look as youthful as they can. I'm gonna use that just a little bit all over the face, just to set everything in place. Ooh, bars. So obviously I still want this area to be shimmery, but when you're using just the lightest layer, the lightest layer of powder, you can still see the radiance through it. You can still see a little shimmer. I just don't look so greasy everywhere. And because I have a light layer of the BB cream on, I honestly don't even need that much powder. I feel like powder and foundation go hand in hand, obviously, but if you're putting on a lot of foundation, obviously you're gonna need a lot more powder to set it into place. So seeing as how I have a light layer, I need light powder. And I just like to pat everything in. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the eyes. So because the eyes are cool toned, I'm gonna use grays. So I'm gonna start with this. It's from Lise Watier. Dude, I should really check the pronunciation before I start these next time. I'm gonna go in on the inner rim. Her makeup artist kept it lighter in there. And now I'm just going to smudge it out. So I'm using a pencil brush for this. I like to go pretty far down underneath my eyes just to make them look a little bit bigger and to extend them out. Using the same pencil brush. It's just gonna create a nice base for the eyeshadow. And this is a waterproof liner, so I love any base that's waterproof, especially down in Texas in the hot weather. It's gonna help to keep everything into place. So I love that you can get a really nice eye look even just from using a pencil. I know a lot of tutorials that you'll watch, or even when I do makeup on a client, I'll use a bunch of different eyeshadows, but sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics, you know? So I don't know if you can tell, but I want the base of the eyeliner right by my lashes to be the most dramatic. So when I'm going over and blending it out, it probably doesn't look like it, but I'm not blending right at the base. I'm just kind of going along the middle area, especially with the edges. I want the edges to be more blended out, but I still want the base to be really opaque. So I'm just flicking it upwards. I'm going with that same brush. Okay, so I was looking at her makeup artist's Instagram when he did her makeup for the Met Gala, and he used Charlotte Tilbury Rock Girl. No. So he used a Charlotte Tilbury palette, and I don't have that, but I do have some similar colors, so I'm gonna use those. He definitely used a shimmery color in the inner corner, so I will do the same. This is a Viseart palette, Sultry Muse. I'm gonna go in with this little champagne kind of color right here. And just go over the highlighted areas to intensify that, and then bring it into the inner corner of my eyelid. I feel like all the pictures I looked at, it's slightly hard to tell exactly what the eye makeup looks like. Another color in the palette looks very similar to this MAC Satin Taupe. This is the St. Minerals color in 03. It's definitely that same kind of like mushroomy gray color, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna go a little bit underneath the eyes as well. And then in the crease and the outer corner, he definitely used a darker color. So in that Charlotte Tilbury palette, it was a dark brown. So I'm gonna go with the matte color, and I have no idea what it is. It don't matter, any dark brown will do. Again, because my eyes are more hooded and a little bit more deep set, I'm just gonna go higher than my actual crease so you can actually see it when my eyes are open. Just taking what's left over on that brush. Her makeup artist used these half lashes that were pretty winged out and kind of long and wild. I don't have anything like that on me right now, so I'm gonna use these half lashes. They are from Temu. Am I pronouncing everything wrong? Perhaps. But these were really inexpensive and I actually really like them. They're just a natural little lash for every day, should you choose to wear lashes every day. I'm gonna use my Duo Lash Glue. So the band is pretty plasticky on these, so they don't really like conform to my eyes very well. But if you don't look super close up, it looks fine. If you do have lashes that have this thick band, a really easy way to loosen it up is to kind of just wrap it around your finger or just play with it a little bit and bend it, and that will help to conform to your eye contours a little bit better. All right, just a little bit of drama. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with a pressed foundation powder. Again, I'm gonna use the same minerals. Yes. So now I'm gonna go over all the cream products with powders to set everything in place and to intensify. So like I said, with the blush, our makeup artist used a warmer color. So this is the same minerals pressed blush in 01. Do a really small amount. I'm gonna go in with Revlon Big Bad Lash. I made a video about this on TikTok. Unfortunately, it doesn't last for me very well, which sucks because I really like it. It looks really good at first. I don't know, it just smudged on me really badly throughout the day, and I tried it a couple times and it just wasn't my jam. But if you don't have issues with mascara smudging on you, definitely try this out. Yeah, this brush is so good. All right, so I'm gonna go in with another pressed foundation. This is a darker color instead of a bronzer. Sorry about the planes, trains, and automobiles, as per always. Okay, so another thing that M has that I don't is she has freckles. I'm assuming they're real versus, you know, a makeup artist putting them on, but regardless, I'm gonna give myself some freckles too. So I'm gonna use this little brush. Cool, don't know where it's from. This is some Janessa Myrick setting spray. I'm just gonna wet this down a little bit. And I actually saw this tip from a makeup artist. Don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'll put it down in the video. So he took Janessa Myrick's Evolution powder and a wet brush like this to make freckles. So let's see how it turns out. So I'm literally just grabbing the smallest amount on here, the tip of my brush, taking the excess off on my hand. She has a little mole right in through here, so I'm gonna use some Inglot gel liner in 90. It's just a brown gel liner. I'm gonna use the same brush, and I'm just going to use the tip of the brush just to grab the smallest amount. So it's on her left side, and it's kind of right in here. Okay, I didn't love how that brush was working. This one's a little bit more firm. For the lips, but she definitely likes to overline her lips, even though she's got big, luscious, beautiful lips. I'm really gonna overline. Now that I'm aggressively overlined, I'm gonna fill in the rest of my lips with a nude lipstick. This is a palette I made a long time ago, so I'm not entirely sure what this is. Any nude lipstick will do. I feel like this color is a little bit too nude, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna go in with something that has a little bit more color just so I can match it a little bit better. Okay, made the eyebrows a little bit thicker, did the little finishing touches. I don't think I look like her, but maybe no. Just kidding. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Gemini season. If you guys don't like Geminis, stay safe out there. Until next time.